Hey, it's JB Webb. Welcome to WJBW. We are into season 3. We have another great local legend interview, Mike McDaniel, Beer with Mike. If you don't know him, you're gonna love him. If you know him, you love him. Anyway, so we've got we're on all mobile devices. You can go check that out. There's proof of that mobile. This hawk is really cool. It takes off. What else? There's a cute little baby coming up. It's gonna say something funny or go. Anyway, and then Shockey tries to predict the election. So have fun with us, and see you later.
The revolution has begun. From the front lines to your imagination. A revolution is a dramatic change in ideas or practice. This is a revolution, a dramatic change. This is the Art Army.
Gentlemen, welcome back. I am JB Webb. This is WJBW. Thanks for tuning in. It's our third season, and it's our second episode of that season. And today we have another local legend interview. This time we're keeping in the TV people a lot, So today we have Having a Beer with Mike, if that sounds familiar. It is Mike McDaniel. And let me give him a proper intro here. Mike McDaniel got his TV start in the 90s, producing and hosting The Singles Game from Universal Studios, Down Home TV, and the Grand Ole Opry House on TNN, and Curly's Kids Club, featuring Harlem Globetrotters legend Curly Neal, on PAX TV. Mike also works with celebrities to produce TV pilots, infomercials, and movies. Having a Beer with Mike was created by Mike McDaniel in 2000 and was nationally broadcast on independent TV stations and cable. So this is just 10 years ago. The early format consisted of Mike and a cast of misfit characters as they embarked on outrageous journeys, gags, and stunts. And we're very happy to have the local legend on the line with us. He is from Orlando. His name is Mike McDaniel, and welcome to WJBW. How you doing?
Hey, thanks, JB Webb. Man, I was listening to you read my bio, and I'm thinking, I got to meet this guy.
Yeah, it's like, sounds good on paper. I'll wait till you meet me. No, joking. Come on. You've got a very impressive body of work, and what I think is interesting, is that you've kind of rebranded this Having a Beer with Mike, beerwithmike.com, to be geared more towards sports oriented, which is perfect. Beer and sports, you're right. So maybe you can talk a little about that.
Yeah, it just makes kind of sense in the evolution of Having a Beer with Mike. As I'm getting a little bit older, I can't be running through Walmart having babies for the rest of my life. I mean, although that was a lot of fun. And we still like to do the pranks and the gags. It's a business, and, I'm pretty well connected with, some of the sports legends and stuff. So it's just a natural extension that I would work with those relationships and then still try to do the bizarre Having a Beer with Mike antics over top of that. So with sports features, you've got a great story by a pro athlete, something that they would have never talked about during their time with the league or team. But afterward, the reflection, they cough it up. So.
Right, so it makes it all more real, which I understand. Plus, as I said, you have the beer and the sports factor there, which is cool. And people can actually go to beerwithmike.com and check out the little pilot right there, which I suggest they do.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, of course, no problem. So, we just spoke about what you're doing now, but what you're doing now was based on what you did before, which again, 10 years ago was pretty pioneering in the regards of the reality and the gags, and from many different aspects, it was pretty pioneering. So, I'm interested to hear and curious to hear what your thoughts are, about moving forward, and even some of the directions and maybe trends you can spot today.
Well, thank you. We caught a wave that I didn't even realize that we caught, and it was right before the internet, right before YouTube, and back when we started. The technology, was expensive. We all have these cameras that shoot in HD now, and at that time it was a real narrow field, and so we were one of a few versus one of many, and I think that's how we were able to get on TV with it. It began because of timing, I believe.
Right. Well, timing is everything, and a lot of who you know too. But given the fact that a lot of people can go see a lot of this on Blip TV, but 10 or 12 years ago, yeah, the internet was nowhere near what it was today. Not a great broadcasting tool. You guys were right at that same time as Jackass had a lot of same principles, and the comedy that you would do was, I don't know if you'd probably get in trouble for it today, but do you still find your comedies kind of maturing, or maybe give us some insight there?
Well, it's changed, man. When I started, we walked into a Walmart, and I just talked to the general manager, and I said, "Hey, man, we're kind of doing a student project," which was a lie. And I said, "Can I just bring the camera in here?" And I go, "Don't ask me why, but there's a girl that's going to pretend to be having a baby here real soon," and it's just kind of silly. And he kind of smiled and support the arts kind of thing. So we walk in. Now I shot some segments a couple weeks ago for sports features, and I simply needed a convenience store setting, and it probably took us 10 tries to before a convenience store would allow us in with a camera, and everybody is just paranoid about that now. And that show kind of put us on the map as far as the Beer with Mike goes. We were on the Sunshine. Actually, I owe a lot to local access cable because we had free airtime, free access to prime time through that. And because we were able to kind of find our style a little bit, fumble around, then we got with Sunshine Network, and that was a statewide broadcast. And so, and then from that, you just leverage forward, and then we've been shown in a lot of different crazy places to date. But, it was just all fun doing it. And every idea we had, we just had confidence in it, and we just did it, and it, and half of them were actually good. I would say about half. And, if you watch Saturday Night Live or any show with a real budget and a team of writers, they're not always half funny. A lot of times it's bad, So our bad is bad too. But, I think we hit it out of the park occasionally.
Yeah, there's definitely some great stuff there in your catalog. And hit or miss. That's kind of the nature of the beast. But a lot of people can go and see the whole collection of the works on blip.tv, as I said, and I'll just throw all the information up there. But do you ever go back and watch any of your older episodes and then maybe get new ideas for new stuff? Or
no, not really. I just want to monetize it as much as I can, and we've got. I was actually on Park Avenue, and I was talking to some guy about what I do, and he was from the East Coast, and so my instinct was, we ran on through Comcast up there for a while, but for some reason my instinct was to mention that. Have you ever heard of James the Narc Electric Tree Cutter? And he goes, oh yeah, that crazy guy on crack that was cutting down trees. And I go, well, that's mine. That was at my house. And so, because I know that thing that had gone so viral that I actually could mention a web video that took off, and True TV, Bravo Network in UK. A lot of networks picked this up, and so now I find that if I'm talking to a stranger, it's easier to mention this James than it is my own title. So
right. That's funny. People don't they know you for your characters, and they don't know who you are. So tell me about this. I read this little bit from your website, something about your broadcasting from the Empire State Building during the attacks of 9/11. Tell us a little about that.
Yeah, we were on a network at the time that was called American Independent Network, and they took all the many of the non-affiliated networks that they weren't a Fox, they didn't have an NBC, but they're still a channel, and they gathered 200 stations together, and we were on their channel, which had a presence in New York and Manhattan and whatnot, and so. And I believe they actually changed the name to Urban Network or something during this time, but I'm a little foggy on that. So the broadcasts would originate from the Empire, or for this channel, since this was kind of like a side channel, they originated from the top of the Empire State Building, and all the other media was, of course, the Twin Towers. So when 9/11 happened, we suddenly started getting a lot of email and things out of the New York, New Jersey area, and we were kind of confused by it because we were kind of obscure in that market, and we came to find out that was the only television that they were able to watch and have like at heavy rotation. So the particular letter I remember is a lady that she was still devastated and shock as everybody was there, and what we felt for them from here. She wrote a letter saying that and it sounds so self-promotional, but it was our small contribution to this thing. She said that she watched that show with the baby, the Walmart baby snatch. She said it was the first time she actually laughed because she was surrounded by so much pain. And so we made a lady laugh. We got a nice letter out of it, and then that's our contribution to some of the healing, even though it was lowbrow, weird humor, but sometimes that's what it takes, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, and independents like me, we always play the side door, the back door into the media. We're rarely celebrated and giving time on major channels, and so we would try to be we would be like the greatest that we could be for someone that didn't have Seinfeld reruns or whatever. Right. And so we found a market there, and if you think about it, people that are doing webcasts such as yourselves and others, it's all any way you can get an audience, and it's got to be that, not the size of the network,
Well, you see, and that's exactly the reason why we're interviewing you as a local legend, because you really did do a lot of this pioneering work before, which is 10 years ago. And, we really do want to encourage everyone to go check out beerwithmike.com. And even go on to Blip, and there's older chronicles there from years ago. He's been working to entertain you late night on television, a lot of public access, a lot of cool free stuff back in the quote-unquote day. But we've been speaking with Mike McDaniel. And Mike, thank you for being on WJBW, and I hope we'll keep in touch in the future moving ahead.
Man, thank you, JB Webb, for thinking of me and inviting me on your show. I sincerely appreciate it.
Well, that's great. Thank you, Mike. And thank you for participating in WJBW. We have more new content coming out in Season 3. Hang tight, my friends. Hey, what's up? It's me, Shaki, and I have this bit that I get to do every 4 years. And since we're only 3 years old, this seems to make perfect sense that I'll be doing this again in another 4 years. So thanks for the bit, JB. It's very generous of you. A bit every 4 years, you ass monkey. All right. So I am now going to predict who will be the president in 2012 in the race here for President of the United States of America? Okay. So what I've done to deduce this is simply go to their Facebook pages. So let's start out with some Mitt Romney. Okay. Mitt Romney's here. He's got like 7 million or whatever. And what? 76 people were here in Mitt Romney. They were in him. I don't know. He's got impressive scores, though, doesn't he? Wow. Paul Ryan, 3 million. Okay, let's go see Obama. All right. Obama. Whoa, 24 million likes. Oh, man, he's going to win. That's it, hands down. Simple as that. Facebook, who's going to win the election? Prediction by Shockey. No one in the president. That's interesting. 76 people in Mitt Romney. Maybe he's got a secret location and the other guy's not. And has a campaign headquarters, apparently. So anyway, all right, well, this has been your election. Tomorrow will come. That is my prediction. And then when this election comes, Barack Obama will win handily by 3 times the amount, it looks like, according to what Facebook says. So, and have a great tomorrow.